It's a new year, new reading habits. Gone are the cozy festive reads we were all curling up with in December. It's 2023 now, and we want to pick up the most exciting books of the year. Welcome back to Book Break. Here are my recommendations. There are a few different categories of books that people love to read at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to recommend some from all of them. The first is reading some dark thrillers. Like I said, we've moved on from the cozy festive vibes and maybe are now in the mood for something a bit darker, a bit meaner. So a really exciting thriller coming out this month is The Marriage Act by John Marrs. This book follows four couples living in a dystopian future in which the government controls marriages and punishes those who remain single. But those in marriages don't have it much better. The government watches and intervenes in every aspect of their marriage. So the book follows these four couples as they make the very difficult decision to stay and obey or leave and face the consequences. The Murders at Fleet House by Lucinda Riley is about to come out in paperback, so this is the perfect time to pick up this crime novel set at a boarding school in Norfolk, where one of the students has just died and the headmaster is very keen to call it a tragic accident and move on. But DI Jasmine Hunter is pretty sure there is more going on than meets the eye. And she's right. People start to go missing, an elderly teacher dies from the school, and as snow covers the landscape, Jazz Hunter makes a particularly grim discovery, turning this into the most challenging murder investigation of her whole career. Or for something without the murders, but just as cutthroat, just as page-turning, Becky by Sarah May is coming out at the end of this month. This is a book set in 90s London in the world of tabloid journalism. So see what I mean by cutthroat. This one is about a woman called Becky Sharp, and yes, it is a loose retelling of Vanity Fair, for those of you who spotted that name. Becky will do whatever it takes to get to the top of her career. She finds herself at the centre of every major scandal, and she will stop at nothing to succeed, no matter who gets destroyed along the way. A completely different approach to January reading is to pick up a really long book. Now that we're not all racing to catch up with our Goodreads goals before the end of the year, we've got time to pick up something pretty hefty, and so this is the perfect time to read To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. Hanya Yanagihara is of course the author of A Little Life, that beloved book that is now being made into a stage show. To Paradise is something very different. This book is divided into three sections and takes us to three alternative versions of America in different time periods. So we get a genderqueered 1893 America in which the US has divided and the northeastern states have formed the free states. Then in part two, we get a more true-to-life 1993 in the middle of the AIDS crisis. And then we get a vision of the future in 2093 in an America that has been devastated by multiple pandemics and is now governed by totalitarian rule. So like I said, something very different from A Little Life, and a book to really savour at this time of year. And again, because we're all not in so much of a rush, January is a great time to pick up a really mind-melding book, something you can really devote yourself to. So if you pick up The Other Side of Night by Adam Hamdy, you will dive into something genre-bending and exciting and fun and totally new. This one is about a disgraced former police officer called Harriet who discovers a note in the margins of a second-hand book which ends up unravelling this whole mystery with ties to Harriet's own life. And you will get totally lost in this book. Time will cease to have any meaning at all. You will discover at the end of it that you tore through it in a matter of days, but you will keep thinking about it for the rest of 2023. It is, I promise, unlike anything you've read before. Or you could pick up some gripping non-fiction to expand your brain at the start of the year. For example, the book Pegasus by Laurent Richard and Sandrine Rigaud. Pegasus is the most powerful piece of spyware ever developed. It could be as simple as a missed WhatsApp call, and suddenly it's installed on your phone where it can record your calls, read your messages, even secretly film you. So the book follows stories of people who have been targeted by Pegasus, from a princess in Dubai to a reporter investigating an arms negotiation and more, and looks at how these people's personal data could be captured by their own governments, by other countries' governments, by private criminal organizations. Absolutely terrifying. Another fascinating and frightening technological nonfiction is Scary Smart by Mo Gawdat. This one is about artificial intelligence and the threat that it poses to humanity as AI becomes exponentially more intelligent than us. The book also looks at the problems that come up due to the fact that AI is coded by humans. It looks at all the errors and biases that can go into this code, and then looks at how you, as an ordinary person, can potentially change this trajectory. And then my final category for January reading is just books that will make you smile. Start the year as you mean to go on, by having a lot of fun. And the best recommendation I can give you for a book that you will have a lot of fun with this January is A Restless Truth by Freya Marske, i.e. Lesbian Titanic. This book follows Maud Blythe, who is a character you might recognise from the historical fantasy romance A Marvellous Light. In that book, she was the main character's sister, and she helped her brother unravel a whole magical conspiracy. And in this book, it's her turn to take centre stage. A Restless Truth is about Maud setting off in hopes of an adventure on an ocean liner where she meets the lovely and outrageous Violet Debenham, who is an actress and a magician and always at the centre of a scandal. This book is a sapphic romance, a magical adventure, and a historical murder mystery all rolled into one. So those are my recommendations for the most exciting way to start your 2023. If you're still catching up on some of your 2022 reading, I will link here to a video I made on our favourite books of the year last year. So do click through and watch that, and I'll see you next time.